Crosby's made such an impact on rock and roll that he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice and is also in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. His success spans decades with hits as a member of the Byrds, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, CSN, duets with Graham Nash, and as a solo artist as well. Currently, he's gearing up to tour in support of Cross. His first, just released actually, his first studio effort in 20 years with all original songs on it, co-produced by his son, James Raymond. And that's a fascinating story. And a guest performance by Wynton Marsalis, Mark Knopfler, and many other great musicians. Cross is available now on Blue Castle Records. We'll link to it at bobrivers.com. David Crosby, welcome to the Bob Rivers Show. How are you, Dave?
I'm great, Bob. How are you?
Good. You sound good, and you look good, and I know that over the years you've had various health challenges. What is your secret to the vibrant Cross we're hearing today?
A lot of sex.
Sex.
Fair enough.
Thank you. You know, you couldn't have said anything more encouraging to this group.
And I hope my wife hears that.
Yeah. So where do we get this sex?
You have to find your own.
Okay, find your own.
I
okay.
can't help you with that. I'm
you're-
just kidding, man. I think my secret is that I'm happy. I've got a great job. I've got a wonderful family. I'm a happy guy.
All right. One of the things, by the way, I think that maybe it is working for you is this is your first solo album in 20 years. And unlike some people, you've got 11 brand new original songs. This is not like a collection of old stuff we never put out or anything like that. And you are also collaborating in an amazing way with some really great people. And tell me when you had the idea to make this. Did you first have the idea, then write the songs for it? Or did you just start writing and say, hey, I've got an album?
You know, we write because it just comes. The muse comes to you, and an idea comes to you, or a piece of music, because that's what we do every day. And James and I, my oldest son, James, we both were just having a run of writing together and separately, and also a couple of times with our friend Marcus Eaton. And, the songs really rule our lives. If you have a really good song, you just have to do right by it. You can't not work hard on it and record it and get it right and try to tell the tale. And we had these songs, and they mean a great deal. They go deep, and we couldn't resist making a record. We didn't have any money, and we made the record anyway. I slept on his couch and worked in his studio, James's studio, and we just right away started getting stuff that we couldn't believe, and so quite naturally we went on and fought our way through to making this record, which I have to say, and I know this sounds completely immodest, but I am completely immodest. I think it's some of the best stuff I ever did.
Yeah, I was listening. It's really, really sweet. Now, the story of your son, James Raymond, is a fascinating one, and a lot of people probably don't know. But it's interesting. This was your biological son who was given up for adoption, right?
By his mom, yeah. And we found each other, and he is such a kind soul. He came without any baggage and gave me a chance to earn my way into his life and into his heart. And I think that was a really kind and wonderful thing for him to do.
So how long have you been back together with him?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
And you said you have said in interviews, I don't know if you meant this literally, but you said he's more musically talented than you are.
Oh, yeah. Musically, unquestionably, and he's getting to be as good or better lyricist as well, but musically, no question. Besides which, I'm illiterate musically, and he's a fully schooled musician. He can write a chart for an orchestra.
Wow.
And I wish, that I had gone to school and learned how to do that.
So did he do that because he was inspired by you and knew he had it in his blood?
No, he didn't know I was his dad.
No.
Wow.
Dude.
No.
When did he figure it out? When his hair grew long and stuff, and the forehead started to go?
No.
You look a lot like David Crosby. Has anybody ever told you that?
Yeah.
No. He doesn't look like me. He looks a lot like my brother, but he's... No, he saw it on the papers. He was looking to find out who his parents, who raised him, who were wonderful people, said, James, you're married now and you're going to have a kid, and if you want to know who your genetic parents were. I mean, we think one of them was a musician. There's got to be some reason that you do that on the piano. And
Holy cow. So here's this incredible prodigy, he's an incredible musician, and they're like, yeah, I think your real dad, but, biologically might have been a musician. So he finds you. Now, I don't want to get too personal.
He said, nah, no way.
He said, no way. Okay. But I mean, what's fascinating about this, I mean, there's another story. There's like Steve Jobs, and he was adopted, and he was a brilliant, brilliant man. But it could go one way or another. He could either suddenly bond with you and become, now you're collaborators, or sometimes you never get over it. And so how did that, instantly you guys melded, or did it take time?
He did an amazing thing. You're quite right. Those meetings usually go bad. Somebody brings too much baggage. How could you leave me and Mom? We weren't good enough for you. What? And he came with no baggage at all, and gave me a chance to earn my way into his life. And I will be forever grateful for that, because the result was, first we formed CPR and made a couple of really good records, and then we have only just gotten better at it.
Yeah. And now here you are. You sound so happy today. And now
I am.
I have an understanding of the joy you have. You and your son are making this incredible record.
Yeah, and my other son, Django, took the cover picture. It's a family deal here.
And you said we didn't have any money. What's the David Crosby version of not having any money? You mean like no big advance from a record company, or?
I mean like no big advance from a record company.
Wow.
Yeah, no budget. When we did have to do a tracking session, that was the grocery money.
No kidding. You self-funded it.
Well, we didn't really have any way to fund it. We just...
Wait a minute, but David, you got to be filthy rich. You got to be truckloads of money
a
coming.
huge sailboat.
No. Didn't you read the book?
I didn't read that.
This guy had to sell his own seed in this place. Yeah.
What happened? It all went away on wooden ships. Where did it go?
Where did it go? Let me think. I don't think I'm going to tell you.
All right, it's Hollywood accounting.
Fair enough.
I will read the book before the next time we talk. Listen.
Yeah, no, I that was a long time ago that I had money.
Yeah.
And
wow.
And what we did have was songs, which is more valuable than money. And we were driven by that. We would write a song and we'd play it and sing it and say, oh my God, we just have to make this record. We have to. And so we struggled, through it. Took us a couple of years, at least a couple of years, maybe more. And God, the result is, the generosity of friends, and there are amazing players on there that didn't ask for anything, nothing. They didn't ask for anything. They just wanted to contribute, and it was a wonderful experience.
I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of the Grammys last night, David, but we have a local artist here in Seattle, Macklemore, made an entirely self-funded record.
That dude's genius.
Yeah, he was great, huh?
You know what? He changed something really seriously for me. I pretty much dismissed all hip hop and rap. I sneered at it. I'll admit it. And then I listened to that guy, and I listened to his words, and he's brilliant, and he's sticking up for what he believes in, and he's really, really articulate. Have you ever read the lyrics to "Same Love"?
That was the moment of the night for me last night, watching him.
Yeah.
He delivered that so well.
Check it out, didn't he?
Beautiful night.
I mean, he really did. And I suggest to you, Google it, look at the words and read them. The guy's brilliant.
This endorsement brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. That's a high praise.
I'm sorry, man. He to you, he's just a homeboy, but I got to tell you, he really changed my perception of what was possible in that arena, because he delivered it with soul and with fire, and he's got the wherewithal.
That's
He's
nothing you
really
haven't.
a good writer.
That's nothing you haven't done in the past yourself. I know you say you're very modest about your accomplishments, but you've done that for a generation as well.
David Crosby. And David, in a couple of decades, Macklemore will be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alongside you, I hope. So thank you very much.
I don't think it's going to take that long.
Well, they have to.
Have to wait 25 years.
You have to wait 25 years,
Yeah.
which it flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they'll put us in for a third time for CSNY.
Right.
Because we're in there for the Birds or I'm in there for the Birds and CSN, but I mean CSNY, they're a completely different band. I mean, they could do a third one, and then we would really be able to, send sneering letters to Clapton.
I love you.
David Crosby. David, they're telling me you have to go. The new album, Cross, we're going to link to it at bobrivers.com. Also, the solo tour in March. you coming to the Pacific Northwest? They haven't announced a date yet. Can you give us any inside?
Not yet, but this is only the